Hey, good people, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator of nextlevelguitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journey is going famously. Today I have another FAQ session. I hope you are enjoying these question and answer videos where you send in the questions and we share the answers. And I've been getting a lot of feedback. People are really enjoying these sessions and they really love the format, because when you ask a question, a lot of people are thinking the same question and they are getting a lot out of these. So we're going to continue to do them. Please, if you haven't sent in a question yet or you have another question, send your questions to me. You can either put them in the YouTube description box below or email them to me if you're more comfortable that way. Send them to me at thenextlevelguitar@yahoo.com. And if you got a second, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. That really helps us. We so appreciate it. That helps us to keep bringing the content, right? Leave a question or leave a comment below. Let us know how you like these videos, or what lessons you'd like to see coming up, or what gear you'd like to see reviewed. Leave a comment in that YouTube description box. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, click the like button, share it. Helps us so much and we so appreciate it. Thank you. Question from Mike G. Mike asks, "Hi David, I'm just learning bar chords. What's the difference between, say, an A 6th root bar chord versus an A 5th root bar chord, besides the finger formation and the number of strings to strum? Why would you use one versus the other? Thanks, Mike." It's a good question, Mike, and you'll learn that throughout your guitar journey, there's all kinds of different voicings or different ways to finger or play the same chord all over the neck, right? That's such a great thing about guitar. You know, there's 12 notes in Western music, right? And those 12 notes repeat on the various strings all over the neck, so you have all kinds of combinations and all kinds of choices to play the same chord. And it's so awesome on the guitar that we have all these amazing options, because they're all going to sound a little different even if it's the same chord, and they're all going to, be in different places as far as, where you're at on the neck in a given opportunity. Do you have enough time to get to another place? Right? So that's going to guide your choices. And a lot of our bar chords we play off of the 6th string or low E string root, which is movable shapes, right? Like major, minor, minor 7th, 7th. And then a lot of the bar chords we can play off the 5th string root, where it's the same shape. The root note determines the name of the chord, whether it's major, minor, minor 7th, 7th, major 7th, right? Let's use a C minor chord just for this example. So if you play the C minor bar chord off of the 5th string root, you grab that C note there at the 3rd fret on your A string. There's your C minor chord, right? Now you can also play that same chord off the 6th string low E string root, find your C note at the 8th fret, and you play this shape. So you have a C minor here, you have a C minor here, right? Little different timbre, right? Because the string notes are on different strings, different thicknesses. So the question becomes, which one do you use? Well, you could use bass off of two things. Which one sounds the best to your ears, but also proximity. If you're playing a progression down here, you might not have enough time to grab this one up here, right? So a lot comes down to where you're at on the guitar in a given progression. Now there's other places you can play a C minor chord. They're all over the neck, right? But you want to think about what sounds the best and what you're going to be able to go to in time in a given situation. Question from Robert, who says, "Being an older person trying to learn guitar, I find your DVDs very helpful. Having different sets of your DVDs, is it a good idea to kind of hop around from theory to beginning acoustic to beginner blues, or to fully focus on one set at a time? I really enjoy the process and I'm not giving up, but often come away from a session confused, maybe a bit frustrated at my learning curve. Will always continue to be one of your good people." Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that very much. And your question is a question that I get a lot from students about, where should I go to learn what, and how much is enough, and should I stick with one thing, hop around? These are really important choices that are going to guide our guitar journey, and it's very important that we stay focused on a few things, because we are in a digital age now where information is so readily available to everyone. We walk around with a lifetime of guitar lessons in our pocket, right? We could access the web, access that for knowledge on anything, right? Not just guitar lessons, right? But there's so much information available out there, and it's so readily available. It's both awesome and also challenging because it's so easy to become overwhelmed. And I see this so much where students try to take in so many different things from so many different sources, from so many different teachers, from different learning platforms. They have all this coming in and they're trying to do all these things, and in the end, they end up confused, overwhelmed, and they're not able to keep moving forward in their guitar journey because they're just skimming over the surface of all these things instead of digging deep into a few. What I recommend is to focus on a few things. Take a step back, deep breath. Let's focus on a couple things. You say you're just learning guitar. So you should be concentrating on things like learning your chords, first set of open position chords, getting them to sound good, learning to change chords, and learning to strum with rhythm, right? Those are the three things to concentrate on at first. Because if you could do those things, if you know chords and you know your basic 10 or 12 open position chords, and you could strum in time, and you could play those chords and sound good, and you could change chords, then you could be playing songs, right? Those are the three things you want to concentrate on at first. If you also want to learn blues and learn some lead guitar, you have to be careful because what you want to do is, for most beginner guitar players or beginner upper level beginners, you want to divide up your practice time. Divide it half into your rhythm studies, half into your lead studies. With your rhythm studies, you want to learn on, learning your chords, learning how to strum, learning strum patterns, getting to the point where you could strum where you don't need the strum pattern. You could do it by ear, changing chords. And that's where you're going to spend the bulk of your time. So you could hop around on those DVDs within the DVD. You don't have to master one lesson to go to the next, but you could be working on those three things, 10 minutes each in your practice session. Then if you want to learn some blues, just say, okay, I'm just going to learn a scale and start with like minor pentatonic or blues scale. And just work on that. Again, keep things, manageable. You don't want to have all these different lessons with all these different things and hopping everywhere. You want to divide up your time between rhythm, lead, do a little bit of each, but really drill down. Okay, and keep things manageable. And you should be following a structured curriculum. Now, you have my DVDs, which is awesome, whether it's me or if it's another instructor, stick with them, or another online program, or my online program at nextlevelguitar.com. But whatever it is, for now, while you're first learning, I wouldn't go to 4, 5, 6 different websites because it's going to be overload. Because with each instructor, you're getting a different philosophy, maybe a little bit different way of doing things. And later on, that's better because later on, getting those different opinions and different philosophies can be inspiring and inspire you to do things differently. But that's once you have a good amount of knowledge under your belt already. For now, I would suggest sticking with one kind of reference, one avenue for now, until you can get the basics and fundamental under your belt, right? So, hop around a little bit, but within the same course, but keep things manageable. And, don't overwhelm yourself. Resist the urge to go to all this different material. I know you want to learn a lot. That's awesome. But it takes time. And remember, the law of diminishing returns applies on guitar. If you don't know what that means, basically, if you take a glass and you fill it with water, that glass is full. Let's say you keep dumping water into it, right? The glass is not going to get any more full. The glass is not going to acquire any more water. It's just going to hit and bounce out, right? Same thing with our brains and learning guitar. We have a certain point where it's full, man. You keep dumping more knowledge on it, it's just going to hit and bounce out, right? You have to kind of let that knowledge kind of assimilate, and you take that and apply it. And then when you're ready, you go on to the next, to the next, to the next. If you'd like a killer reference ebook, which you will use throughout your guitar journey, I will send you my biggest rock blues soloing ebook. It has like over 29 scale diagrams, soloing strategies, key signature, major, minor key stuff. It's packed with lessons and scale diagrams. I'll send that to you for free, as well as I'll pair it with a video lesson with simple things you could do to really dress up your playing. It's a great 1-2 punch. Video lesson and ebook. I'll send it to you for free. Just click on that link below. Got a question from Terry M, who asks, hey Dave, is it standard to start a solo in the same key as the chord being played? There's really necessarily no right or wrong answer to that question, but generally most solos do start off in the same key as the song, or as the chord progression going on, or as the chord being played. What I mean by that is, remember when you're soloing, you have two options. You can either play over what relates to all. That means, let's say if you have a chord progression that has 5 different chords in it, right? So that means you're using the same, and that's in a certain key. Let's say it's in A minor. Okay, so we have this chord progression in the key of A minor. One choice you could do is you could solo with A minor pentatonic over all the chords. No matter what chord in that progression is going on, you're playing A minor pentatonic, or maybe using A natural minor if it works, A Aeolian mode, right? That's called what relates to all. That scale or mode is relating to all the chords, all right? So the song starts off, it's in the key of A minor, the first chord is A minor, you start soloing in A minor, and that's a lot of times what happens. But you can also choose to solo over what is called treating each chord as a separate event. That means where you take each chord that comes up as a separate event. So over the A minor chord, you're playing something that relates to that. Let's say A minor pentatonic. But let's say the second chord that comes up is C major. Then you go off and let's say you play C major pentatonic over that chord. Another chord comes up, B minor. So you start playing B minor pentatonic over just that chord. So you're treating each chord as a separate event. And in that instance, per se, you might have a chord progression, let's say, that's in the key of whatever, in the key of A minor, but maybe A minor is not the first chord. Maybe the first chord in the progression is B minor. So you start your solo off over that chord in B minor. So you see, not always. Most of the time, yes, you're starting a solo in the same key as the song, but oftentimes, sometimes not. I tend to think of it more, you might be starting off in the same key as the chord. Remember, it's the chords. Always the chords give you the complete roadmap to what you can use solo and improvisation wise. The key is only a small part of it, so always get used to analyzing the chords. I got a question here from Maricon B from the Philippines. Greetings from the USA, and thank you for your question, Maricon. Can you tell or suggest something for me who is super stuck in a rut? I mean, I know how to play guitar and such, but I want to know more about guitar. I'm thinking about soloing or blues or just rock. I need your advice because I'm playing songs over and over again and not really learning a thing. He brings up a good point, and I've said this many, many times. You know, the best way to learn guitar is not just by learning songs, you know. You want to learn all the techniques, the devices, everything you need to know, the fundamentals in order to play that song, because the goal is not to play a song. The goal is eventually you want to play any song, right? So just learning songs is not the best way to go about learning guitar. So if ever you're looking for private lessons and you call up a teacher and you talk to them and the first thing they say is, oh, just bring in 5 songs you want to learn, I would call another teacher, because learning songs is great, it's awesome, but that's not a learning curriculum, because then you'll just learn a couple songs. What good is that? You want to be able to eventually play any song. So what you want to do is you want to put together, you want to have a structured curriculum, right? And that structure is what's going to get your playing to the next level, the next level, the next level, the next level. Structured curriculum so you know what to practice, how to break up your practice routine, right? Now, I don't know exactly where you're at in your guitar journey right now, so I can't tell you exactly, but email me. Send me an email at thenextlevelguitar@yahoo.com. Tell me a little bit about where you're at in your guitar journey, where you'd like to be, styles of music you want to play, what frustrates you about the guitar, what you can do and what you can't do on the guitar, and then I can help to put together a curriculum for you. Now, you want a structured curriculum, right? I have one online at nextlevelguitar.com. I've taught tens of thousands of students all over the world through my online video lessons. I also have, DVD and digital download courses. So whether you choose mine or there's many other online or a private teacher, the main thing is you have a structured plan with goals where you're dividing up your practice routine. Like you say, you want to learn blues or rock, so you want to spend, half your time on rhythm guitar, learning new chords, learning new strum patterns, learning how to play by ear, learning how to develop your ear to where you won't need patterns, to where you can rhythmically, scratch out rhythms, right? And you want to learn how to change chords properly, and how to build your own progressions, maybe start writing your own songs, and half your practice time can go toward lead guitar playing, learning some scales, right? Starting with minor pentatonic, learning how to build licks from those scales, finger exercises and dexterity exercises, doing those 5 minutes a day. You want to learn how to build your solos and playing over jam tracks. So again, you're setting goals. You have this structure where you're breaking your practice time up into subsets, working on your rhythm, working on your lead, and then giving yourself fun time on the guitar and playing and learning songs. So that's basically the crux of it. And that will get you out of your rut, because you'll be doing all these things and learning, like with lead guitar, learning about all the devices to play lead, taking the notes, doing things with them that are musical, like learning how to bend strings, learning how to do hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides, and how to take the notes and start doing musically interesting things with them. Don't worry, because that is a question I get a lot. Students not knowing exactly which way to go in their journey, how to get to that next level. The biggest thing is to have that structured plan with measurable goals. That kind of dovetails to another question that I got from George S., who asks, "You guys are awesome." Thanks, George. I appreciate that, and thanks for sending in your question. "Could you tell me how to move my playing to the next level?" Again, without telling me where you're at in your journey, that's a very hard question to answer. If you just listen to the last question from the gentleman from the Philippines, I talked about having a structured curriculum, about knowing what to practice, about breaking your practice time up. Again, you got to email me, let me know where you're at in your journey, where you want to go, what you can and can't do on the guitar, what's frustrating you, what you want to be able to do, and then having that structure, having a program or a teacher, again, whether you use my program at nextlevelguitar.com, one of the many other programs out there, or a private teacher who's really very qualified. And if you're thinking about getting a private teacher, I'll put a video link below in the YouTube description box on questions you should ask and how you find a really good private instructor, because there's a lot of mediocrity in the teaching world. Just because someone's a great player doesn't necessarily mean they're a great teacher. It's a different set of skills. So I'll put that video below, check that out. But again, you gotta have a structured plan, and it's gotta have goals. Time to pick another winner for a Next Level Guitar t-shirt, or maybe a Next Level Guitar DVD or digital download course or site membership. I'll give you your choice. We pick a random winner from all the questions that we received for that particular video. And the winner this time is Mike G. Mike, congratulations. Mike asked the questions about 6-string, 5th-string root bar chords. Very good question. Mike, we appreciate you sending it in. I will send you an email and see what Next Level Guitar swag you would like. Please stay tuned for the next FAQ video, because in each video we pick a winner out of the questions from that video, and I send them a Next Level Guitar t-shirt or swag, and you might be the next winner. I hope you enjoyed this FAQ video. Please keep sending your questions in. I read every one of them. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Remember, you can email them to me at thenextlevelguitar@yahoo.com, or you can put your questions in the YouTube description box. Please leave a comment. Let us know how you like this. Let us know what lessons you'd like to see. If you like the video, click the like button. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel, that really, really helps us, and we so appreciate that. Please check out my band Mindcell at our Facebook page. I'll put a link below, because I just loaded up a new song, second one released off of our coming record, which is coming out this summer. I'm really excited about it. If you could visit the page and like it, leave a comment, that would help me out so much, and I so appreciate it. And don't forget to click on that link in the YouTube description box to get your free video lesson and ebook. Thanks so much for your support over the years. I so appreciate it. We're going to keep bringing the best lessons possible. Stay tuned. Lots more killer content coming. I'm David Taub, co-creator of Next Level Guitar. You're the good people. And hey, remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Take care and rock on.